All right. Welcome back to yet another episode of the Sports Desk Live. Again, we are live yet again talking about that good old wrestling. And after the long day that I've had, this is an excellent wind me down. Here with my man one more time again, Mr. TLTG Reviews, Ross Carlos. What's up, my man?
I'm doing well, man. I'm excited. As you can see by my name, I'm still Mommy's favorite reviewer. But after this weekend, Dirty Dom is going to be the top heel in this business.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to get into it.
No doubt.
So those who are... Oh, dope shirt. Dope shirt. So those who are into the world of wrestling, we know it is SummerSlam weekend, one of the core 4 pay-per-views in the history of the WWE, and one of the most heralded pay-per-views of all time, the Summer Classic, however you want to word it. Party of the summer. It is always a fun pay-per-view, and we are set up for a pretty, I think, potentially, maybe one of the top SummerSlam cards ever. I'll explain in a little bit. All right. So a lot of matches to discuss. I think so.
Yeah.
A lot of matches to discuss. You know how we do here. Me and Ross, we get together, shoot our theories, give our thoughts, give our opinions. We want to hear from you guys as well. Drop your comments as we're going live. If you're watching on the playback, we appreciate you. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. A lot of content coming from the Sports Desk Live. Football season is upon us, and we will be hitting it hard, talking college and the NFL. So rock with us, man. We got that content coming your way. All right. So let's go ahead and tap into it again. SummerSlam 2024, WWE. WWE has been on fire. I think we're going into in a year and a half mark since Triple H took it over.
So he got the book, then Vince started doing things remotely, and then he fully got the book. So all in all, about a year and a half, like summertime. It was around this time last year, maybe a little longer. It's about a year and a half, I would say, roughly. Right. Full year of him having the book, though.
Right. And it's been nothing but amazing. I mean, so many great highlights, great stories. You've seen superstars really rise to their potential. Just kind of feels like the quality is there again. We've experienced it in many eras in wrestling, but the Triple H Paul Levesque era, the quality, in my opinion, has been restored week in and week out. And we have another chapter to the Paul Levesque era, which is SummerSlam 2024. But before we get there, there's been some rumblings and some breaking news stories and some pictures and some videos of a particular individual.
Shane Brandon?
Yeah, him. Shane Brandon.
What a name.
Yeah, I laughed as when I
Who's
saw
gonna
it.
go with that?
It's crazy. It's Shane McMahon. That's what we're going to be calling.
Look, I get it that's a WWE trademark, but this is his actual name.
It's his real name.
It's
on his birth certificate. It's on it. So
he's still listed on their roster page, from what I understand. So that's like he can't use his name. It's weird.
It's really weird. It's that spiteful move, I'm sure, from the company. Say, you ain't taking this over there. Because Lord knows what they could do with the McMahon name alone in AEW.
That's what I'm saying. To have literally the name show up on TV, someone with the blood.
Yeah.
It needs to be the name. Like it'd be great if Here Comes the Money would play.
That ain't happening.
No, that would be amazing. The pop. It'd be the biggest pop he's ever gotten in a small arena.
Ever. And it would blow through our TVs if that was
what they should do is debut him. Get the rights to that music and debut him at a Connecticut show.
Oh God, that would.
They always try to strategize where people are and from and all that.
Yeah.
AEW good about that.
Could you imagine the content coming from that if that ever happened? But who knows what they have in store? But I just want to get our thoughts off real quick. Ross, let's start with you, of course. Shane McMahon, AEW. How does it feel to you, and what do you think about it?
Pure spite.
Mm-hmm.
Pure spite. Nothing else. Nothing says anything but. This is spite for his sister and brother-in-law.
Yeah.
100% that his father got rid of him after the Rumble, and his brother-in-law took over the business that he feels he should be taking over because he's the son, and he was right there through the Attitude Era when Triple H was just a talent. not even with his sister. I understand where his head is probably at.
Sure.
And it's pure spite.
Yep.
And I'm sure that's being said in that meeting. And Tony Khan is, make me a big old sandwich of this spite story. Tell me more. Yes. Yep. I hate them. Please tell me more.
Yeah.
So that's the energy's so bad for this move.
It is.
I don't know either party, but I know of the parties, both Shane Brandon, as he's going to be known, and Tony Khan. And it's not coming from a good place why this is going to be a thing. It's not for the betterment of the business. It's a spite move. But as viewers, we're going to love it and eat it up, but it's going to fail in the long run. It's going to it's going to start off hot, and it's going to turn into an absolute disaster because it comes from a negative place. That's how I really feel.
I agree as well. The move doesn't feel good. It was a little shock factor there when I saw it. Initially, I mean, you're seeing Shane McMahon and Tony Khan in a warped-looking picture that was totally staged.
I did this.
Yeah, it was totally staged.
And Mercedes is taking credit for taking the picture.
Yeah,
because she's spiteful. And it's this would piss everybody off. Can I post it, Tony? Can I post it? I can hear it.
So the luster of it kind of faded right after that. In about 15 minutes, I was over it, and I haven't seen Shane Brandon on AEW television one time. Will I tune in? Yes. Will I look and see what the deal is? Of course I will. I'm a wrestling fan. That's what I need to do to see what's going on over there. But I'm like you, Ross. I don't feel great about it. It's nothing genuine. It's not real passion there. It's something to totally spite Triple H.
And be a beautiful disaster for us as fans to watch. Now, it'll be a memorable moment in time in the wrestling business.
Now, the thing is, with the era that we're in the wrestling business, of course, with podcasts and the YouTube shows, all of the off-script stuff, we could get some really good interviews here. Could you imagine Triple H sitting in front of a mic on a random wrestling show telling how he feels about this?
How do you feel about Shane going to AEW? That's going to come.
Sure. That's what I'm saying.
Probably at SummerSlam after the show.
I would think that I kind of differ there. I would think that Triple H doesn't want to steal the thunder from SummerSlam. I think there might be some instructions there.
I would think they would do some instructions, but they're trying to they're trying to let sports media cover it. Right. And sports media is not playing around because they have had some off-the-cuff questions they've hit him with at these media scrums.
And they have
hit the PR answer.
And they have. And I think that the hand-picked individuals that will be at the post-conference tomorrow night, Saturday night at SummerSlam, they'll be hand-picked. I think they'll be handpicked.
So, because I hate to say it's more touchy than his father-in-law sex trafficking a woman.
Sure.
Because it's not in essence, but as far as the business in kayfabe, this is much more undermining of a situation.
Right.
So there's a lot of hair in the car business when a deal's really tough and iffy. Say it's got a lot of hair on it. This deal's got a lot of hair on it.
Right. And I know that a TV deal is coming up. And I see somebody just mentioned that. Yeah, Jungle Hunter, shout out to you. I feel like the knowledge of Shane Brandon has about the wrestling business could possibly elevate AEW to the next level. Okay. They have a TV rights deal coming up. I did see that as well. And Tony Khan needs to do something.
Well, it's definitely a chess piece because it's like, look at all the experience I just brought in to help from WWE's past. An actual McMahon that's been behind the scenes, has ran the business, has been on screen. I understand like I said, I understand the business side of it, but the reality is it's a spite move because it's a big middle finger from Tony Khan. And that's the only reason I think Shane's doing it, because he doesn't need money.
And there's only one way that I think this could actually work is if Shane really has the business cap on.
It does not come on.
Right. And can you imagine the experience that he has? Can you imagine the wealth of knowledge that he has, the resources that he has, even though he's no longer ingratiating himself with WWE? He has resources. He has pull. It's Shane McMahon. So if he wears the proper hat, this could be huge for AEW. But if he gets involved as a talent, and I see him take bumps and get beat the hell like I saw Tony Khan did, it's not going to work.
If he comes through that tunnel it's solely the spite stuff I was talking about. If we never see a music hit for him and him walk through a tunnel on camera, if we never see that, he's genuinely trying to help this company.
Yeah, and
backstage trying to do the right things and help this company grow. That's the two sides of the coin. I don't think there's anything else.
And I think the only pass is if he does it, just acknowledges the fan at like a pay-per-view or something like that, kind of hypes up that, AEW and kind of keeps it like you just said, because the fans know he's there. They know
and maybe say, look, I'm not here to wrestle. I'm here to help this company grow. I think this could be great things.
Hypes up the talent.
That kind of speech I'm down with.
Right.
That goes right into him never coming on camp. Because I visualize it. If he's got music, he's a talent. If he's got theme music that hits, it's not for just the one-off.
Right. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how this spins off. I'm with Ross. We kind of think the same way when it comes to this. Don't feel great about it.
No.
We know the off-camera stuff is legit and it's real. And Shane has always walked to his own drum. Mm-hmm. So the opportunity to play a different hand of cards to shame the family, I ain't putting it past him. I ain't putting it past them.
Because look, you want to. There's an elephant in the room that we haven't addressed here. Mitch McMahon got pushed out of the company.
He did.
I think him and his dad haven't talked about this, and he's like, you know what? Fuck him.
Let's do it.
F-bomb.
Let's do it.
That's a spiteful SOB, Vince McMahon. That's way more spiteful than a Shane McMahon, I would think.
Right,
or at least so that conversation could almost bet happened. They came together and said, "Why not?"
I could see Vince saying, Shane, you go ahead, because I can't go. Vince McMahon can't ever appear on anything AEW.
No.
He can never appear on anything.
Tony Khan wouldn't have him on anyway.
That's what I'm saying. So send Shane.
Yeah, I don't think Vince would want to, but I think Vince would want Shane to be my guinea pig. Go do that. Because it could be a puppet master kind of thing going on here. Like, who knows? But it's hard to not speculate things like that because the way this family has always been. Right. It's not a big secretive thing the way these people genuinely are.
True.
They can kayfabe us all they want on camera, but who they are, they've shown who they are over the years.
We know what it is. We know what it is. So, yeah, we'll keep our close eyes on it, and we will obviously address and have more conversation about it. But I definitely want to shout out everybody in the chat tonight. Again, shout out Jungle Hunter in the house tonight. Appreciate you, man, for rocking with us. My man's wearing a little bit of dark leather today. Couldn't help yourself.
Yeah, so he keeps commenting everything about trying to tell me so I can go buy it. My man, Jungle Hunter, you're a regular in my recorded videos. I strongly advise catching my live streams because I've been telling everybody I'm just waiting on the package to show up. PR sent me a bottle.
Sure.
So it's coming soon, my man. I promise. I'm glad you're eager to hear my thoughts because I'm eager to try it.
For sure. Shout out MA Styles in the house for sure. Appreciate that. What up, everybody? Elbow drop that like button. I appreciate that, my man. Got my Unc CJ in the house. Two of the biggest in the sports game. Salute. Appreciate you, my guy. We got the Bishop, our guy, showing love over here on the Sports Desk Lives. Thank you guys very much. Polo and Jay's in the house.
What's up,
Salute
Marcus?
to you, my man. Rocking with us tonight.
So fun facts for you. He hit me with that complex top 50 earlier in our group chat because we got our little sneaker friends group chat.
I haven't watched it.
I'd love to know your thoughts about this. I'm like, well, me and Dedrick have kind of talked about it on and off, and I told him we were doing this tonight.
I will say this.
Honestly, let me throw mine out real quick. I said, honestly, it looks like a list that was made by somebody that just started watching wrestling.
So I haven't looked at it yet. I have it queued up, but I haven't looked at it yet. So I was about to say, I hope it's better than the Bleacher Report top 50. But listen, if you're watching right now and you want to hear me and Ross's thoughts on these top 50 lists from Complex and Bleacher Report, don't worry. Really, really soon, me and Ross have been talking about this for months. I promise you, we're going to make it happen. We're going to discuss.
Bleacher Report one's worse.
I had a feeling.
Marcus, it was worse. Go look at that one. The Complex one, not near as bad. They got some educated stuff going on in there, but I differ with a lot of that.
Okay.
I did look it over.
Looking forward to it for sure. But soon, very soon, we'll get together and we will have some conversation about some lists that are out there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's go ahead and jump. Yeah. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Tomorrow night, Saturday, August the 3rd. We are getting SummerSlam 2024 from the beautiful Cleveland, Ohio Brown Stadium, outside venue. Of course, massive crowd to be expected. SmackDown is kicking off at the recording of this in less than an hour. So there's a lot to go down tonight, but we're going to talk about the card. We're going to give our thoughts and opinions. Let's go ahead and kick it off. I have the matches in an order, as this is a really hard card to try to put in order, but I did the best that I think that I could. But
at least they gave us the full card before we do this show. Normally we could be the day before like we are now, and we're like, I guess this is going to be the full card.
Right. I think that looking at the card here before we get to the matches, this is an incredible card. It might be the most stat card since Mania.
Well, it's the biggest card we've had of PLEs this year besides Mania.
Right.
Everything else has been 5 matches. We got 7 and a 3-hour pre-show.
3-hour pre-show starting at 4 o'clock.
Speaking of middle fingers from company to company.
Yeah.
Between the Olympics and SummerSlam. Yeah. Screw you, Tony Khan.
Yeah. We're going to be on. They're going to be over here watching.
Yeah. Nobody's watching Collision.
Yeah, for sure. All right, y'all. So here's a thumbnail back at it again. As you can see, the new bloodline is on the cover. You see me and Ross up there in the top right-hand corner. They are the poster boys. Right. FWO for life. They are the poster boys for SummerSlam 2024. But let's go ahead and kick off with the card. I think that they're going to do this thing with the bang. And why not have the favorite son open up the show? Logan Paul will be defending the United States Championship against the guy. The guy, my man, your man, LA Knight.
Yeah.
Let's kick it off, Ross. What are you thinking with this match? Of course, Logan Paul is returning home. He is from Cleveland, Ohio, and this is a huge deal. I think for Logan, his brand, his company. A great match, a great opponent. What's your thoughts?
So I think it's going to be a clashing of styles. I think we might see a botch or two.
Oh boy! Okay.
They have a young man who's a natural, athletically gifted, and has really good timing for his lack of experience. Mm-hmm. But LA Knight has his share of botches here and there when his nerves get a little bad. You can tell when his nerves get a little bad because I think he's just acclimated to the big stage here in the last few months. Because when he first was getting the rocket on him, he was botching promos. He was messing. We were talked on here about how awful his work had been in the ring. It was a lot of hesitations and things like that. And I think because there's such a huge clash in styles, we might see a botch or two. I don't think anybody's going to get hurt.
Okay.
But kind of one of those bonehead moves where they're going to kick themselves after. They're going to beat themselves up when they get behind the curtain.
Right.
But at the same time, the way the flow of the match is going to go, I think it's going to be a real situation where it looks like Logan Paul is about to retain his title. And by the grace of God, LA Knight is going to pull out the finish because everybody's expecting this title to change. So you have to try to lower that expectation as best you can as the booker, because you don't want it to just be a gimme match where it's like, oh, okay, yep, he won. That's what we thought it would be. All right, let's get to the next. You don't want the crowd to be that way.
Right.
You want the crowd to think, holy shit, Logan's actually getting there. He's going to have heat in his hometown. I don't think he's getting cheered. LA Knight's babyface here.
Right.
So I think it's going to be one of those deals where they even swerve the crowd a bit. I don't know how the finish is going to go, but I fully believe that we're going to have a false finish that's really going to like throw us for a loop to where it looks like Logan's actually about to retain. And LA Knight pulls it out, new United States Championship with a lengthy run. I think he has a lengthy run into Mania.
I think the writings are on the wall. I think Logan has come to the point where he's at the pit stop, so to speak, for where his contract is. He's under contract, but he is going to be off of WWE TV for quite some time. I'm going to pour in a little bit of the reality here. He has a baby on the way. He's about to get married. He has a lot of things going on, and this is the time of year after SummerSlam. Some of your part-time acts kind of go away before the Rumble comes back. So I think LA Knight gets the moment that probably we've all been waiting for. He's been on a hell of a run. For the last, I want to say, what is it? Has it been 3 years? 2 years.
It's been about 2 years.
2 years since the run he's been on, and we've all been waiting for his opportunity to wear gold. He's been talking gold. He's been in some big time spots, But I'm with you. I think it's going to be an interesting stylistic matchup between the two. Like you said, Logan is really good for
He's
the amount
way better than he should be.
And it's freaky. It's freaky how good he is. This guy's going to be a future world champion one day. Mark my words. He sticks
with it. If he puts another 5-6 years into this, they will put the belt on him at some point.
He's going to be a future world champion. I'm going to sign off on that because the guy's a natural. But I think you're going to get some goofy spots here. You're going to get some interferences from Logan's crew. Hell, you might even have a surprise. LA Knight might have something up his sleeve. You're going to get some spots where the fans can get some oohs and ahs and maybe even some laughs. But when it's all said and done, LA Knight hits the finish. He gets the win. He raises up the United States Championship. And I agree with you, Ross. I think he goes on a pretty significant run going into Mania season because I think they want to test the waters and see, hey, can we throw you back in world title type of vibes? You know, I think that's something that is going to happen at SummerSlam. So I think overall,
yeah, you handled it.
Yeah, I got you.
I realized we weren't on your channel because I was going to block him. I'm not a moderator here.
Yeah, I need to get some, but yeah. So LA Knight wins, United States champion, and he starts a pretty dope run. I think he's going to wear the title well. I think he's going to be a fighting champion. And I think it's going to be good to see LA Knight in a championship era for his character. And let's see if LA Knight can really continue to build off that and potentially get back into world championship.
He'll be a lot of TV main events with that title. Yes. We haven't had a lot of TV main events on SmackDown because Logan's had the belt.
And there's plenty of contenders for him. For sure. All right.
I agree.
All right, let's get into the next match. A lot of title matches. Matter of fact, every match on this card is a title match except one. And
I think a lot of the titles are changing.
Well, let's get
to it. All of them. Almost all of them, I think, are changing.
Up next, let's get to it. For the WWE Women's Championship, a really highly anticipated match. We have the champion, the role model Bayley, against your queen of the ring. We have Nia Jax, who's really had a resurgence with her character. I think personally that she's done really well, kind of flipping a lot of the negatives towards her earlier runs in WWE.
She's made me a believer.
I
was mad when they rehired her.
Right, because we know the issue she's had. She's botched a lot of things. She's hurt a lot of people. But now I think she's kind of found her niche. And this is a big spot for Nia Jax. Ross, what are we thinking? Does Bayley retain the championship, or does the era begin, or do we get a little bit of Tiffy time?
So Tiffy time, and this is what I think the finish is. There's an almost cash-in distraction, and Nia Jax is going to be your champ, and that's going to be a fun story for a little while because they're friends now, and it's like I want to cash in, but I want to keep her on my side, and it's a better story for Nia Jax to have the belt at this point than it is for Bayley to have it. Bayley had a few months with it, lackluster due to booking, I think.
Yeah,
I felt so bad for Bayley. It was her most underwhelming title reign I've ever seen her have.
Right.
It's so unfortunate because she's so good, so much. She's the only horsewoman that's in WWE on television this year. Mm-hmm. You know, Charlotte's been gone, Becky's been gone for a little while now, and no Sasha. And she keeps up with her antics, she'll never be back. I mean, then again, CM Punk's back. Never mind, CM Punk's back. The one
Hell freezes over more than once, Ross.
I thought for sure, Bret Hart, sure, maybe one day, and it happened. But CM Punk, never, and it happened. So I take that back.
Yeah,
take that back. But back to the finish. I think Nia Jax, I think she's getting her flowers here. I think Queen Nia is about to be your WWE Women's Champion, and I echo your sentiments because Bayley even used it in one of the promos. The side-by-side screen split about, let's talk about what happened in that SummerSlam. The reality is you hurt me, and you did this, that, and the other, and you're clumsy, you're too big, and you hurt people. And like this, shoot promos. I love it. I love
really good. Really good.
Like this. The promos have been great. Mm-hmm. That's an underlying thing we haven't touched on much, but that promo was really good.
Really good.
She got fired up. It got under her skin. She wanted to be done, got the mic off. And this is the now what bitch moment.
Yep.
After she holds that belt in the air. I'm actually for it because I was upset because her history of hurting people
right
when they hired her back, but it looks like she's past that. She's gotten really good. Her character is just right. She's that big, nasty heel, the cocky heel that backs it up.
Evolved beautifully.
Destructive. I think the time is right. I think it's time for Nia Jax to have the belt. And the following storyline that we can continue with Miss Money in the Bank, I don't think there could be a better setup for her being the one to hold the briefcase.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. So that's my final answer there. Nia Jax is champ, and we have a beautiful story for at least a month or two of her and Tiffany.
Yeah, I think that I think Nia destroys Bayley.
I think it'd be bad. Yeah,
I think Bayley is going to look incompetent. I think I think she's going to come out very weak, and I think it's going to be something where it's in wrestling when you have a heel that is peaking like at the right time, they always cash in on it. I mean, just go throughout the history. Hollywood Hogan, when he turned on WCW and formed the NWO, he ascended to another level way bigger than, in my opinion, his original red and yellow character ever did. And then when you just go down the line, look when Triple H started his run as the Game. He got to the biggest heights that he ever did. So I think there's a lot of potential here with Nia Jax because she is nasty. She is mean. She comes off cocky. She comes off arrogant, and she's been backing it up. And I think Bayley's the perfect sacrificial lamb. I think she walks right through her. I think Tiffany may get a little involved, but not too much touchy with Bayley, like you said, a distraction. And I think
what you're saying, she's getting dominated so much that it looks like the perfect time to cash in. Like she is whooping her ass. I need to cash in.
Right, and that's what Tiffy probably will peek her head around the corner.
Had that hesitation thing.
Right,
like I want to, but I shouldn't, but I can't.
Right.
Oh no, nothing. I'm just
right. So you got to continue to build Tiffy by allowing Nia to do what she's doing. So it's a triple entendre here. You get Nia the title. She's the queen and she's dominant, but you also build up Tiffy because sooner or later it's going to be her time. Mm-hmm. It's going to be Tiffy's time. She's next. She's like the next pop in the women's division for sure. But in order for that to happen, Nia has to be extremely strong, and she will be. Nia Jax wins the title. I don't think it's much of an ooh and ah. I really kind of feel bad for Bayley because the buildup for her to winning the title at Mania was dope. It was a dope moment. She deserved it. But the like Ross said, the booking has been, let's just call it a spade a spade. It's been awful.
They have not featured her as a champion a main champion.
It's been awful. It's been awful. So Nia Jax is your new world champion, and the storyline continues with her and Tiffany. And I think Nia goes on a pretty impressive run for maybe even a couple of months, like Ross said. I think as we get ready to turn into Survivor Series, heading down the Mania Lane, Tiffany will cash in right around that time, I think. So we'll keep eyes.
Would you like to know my fantasy booking of what I really do think Tiffany's Mania match is?
But sure, shoot.
The Queen.
Charlotte. It makes most sense.
That will be
epic.
The night stealing match.
Epic.
You give me a fully healthy Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton, and I'll argue with everybody that wants to step up and argue with me about why they are going to tear the house down
with that title on the line.
So simple. I've told you this privately. Yeah. Tiffany's new Charlotte.
Yes, she is. Super athletic. Super athletic,
naturally gifted for
just natural, and that is going to be something to behold for sure. So
that's mirror images of the two most gifted women I've ever seen step foot in the WWE ring. That's why there's so much hype on Tiffany, because she's just so naturally gifted for this business, and that's exactly what Charlotte was.
Yeah, Tiffany's definitely in that pool with her and Bianca, Charlotte, Bianca, and there's a few
Bianca
that
and Rhea.
Yeah, just naturally.
That's going to be the other one.
Tapped in. So, oh God.
Because we still haven't got to that yet, because then you got powerhouses. You know?
Yeah.
Mania is going to be so good.
Mania is going to be great this year for sure.
So
all right, let's move along to the next match that I feel, and usually this is how this has happened. This is how this happens when you have your WWE and your world title. Somebody splits the card, and I think this is going to split the card. You have Damian Priest, the WWE World's Champion, going against the King Gunther. I'm going to go first here, Ross. Gunther's moment is here. He is amazing. I think that his journey from NXT to the main roster, the Intercontinental Championship run, losing the title, but not losing steam, winning King of the Ring, now getting this title shot. He is a champion when you look at him. No disrespect to Damian. I've really been pleased with Damian. I wasn't sure. I thought he was going to be that fill-in champ and get that belt off of him right after Mania, but they stuck with him, and I'm glad that they did. Damian has improved. He had some pretty good matches. His promos have gotten a lot better. Damian has benefited from being world champion. It's only going to help his character ascend. But I'm going to call a spade yet again. There is a clear separation between him and Gunther to me. And Gunther looks like the champion. The promos have been fitting from Gunther. He's spiteful. He's mean. He's nasty. He's rude. He is intelligent. He comes off as that guy that you want to hate. And you know what? He also comes out as the guy that you just can't beat.
And I hate him because he's so good.
He's great.
And he knows he's so good. And he tells you how he's so good.
Yes. And he's going to show it on Saturday night. I think Gunther wins a bloodbath. I do think this is going to be a heavy-hitting war. Both of these men
tore up chests after this one.
God, both of these men are going to earn their paycheck tomorrow night. But when it's all said and done, the Ring General, the King General, will be your new world's heavyweight champion. And welcome to the era of Gunther. What you got, Ross?
It's going to be funny in a way to see the image of Damian Priest get powerbombed and folded up for the pin like he does to everyone. Yeah, because that's how he's getting pinned, with those legs pinned at his fucking shoulders and by the ears kind of thing, because that's his powerbomb pin. Yeah. And it's very old. Gunther is a love letter to the past in wrestling.
Right.
And it's great to see that style can still work. That simple yet effective, fluid, heavy-hitting style works. It's believable. It's an authentic style. It's what the business was built upon.
Right.
His style of wrestling. And it looks like he's just fighting you with some technical wrestling moves in there. And it's just, like I said, it's very fluid, very believable. He really looks like he's beating the shit out of everyone.
He does, man.
He's very stiff. You know, those chops are no joke. Everybody's chest is just, they always post on Instagram after a match with him what their chest looks like. Everybody he wrestles.
Did you see Finn?
It's like a magic. Oh, Finn looked terrible. He looked shredded with just red meat chopped up.
Yeah.
And they all do it. They all post on it. I've noticed that's a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's some agreement they have when they wrestle him that they post the post-match chest picture, because he just tears them up in the ring. Right. And it's like a badge of honor for these guys. It's I respect it. You know, I love it. It's very old school. And that's what Gunther is. Very, very old school. I'm a Walter fan. For those who don't know, that was his name prior to going to the main roster. Vince McMahon likes to change names, and Triple H just kind of stuck with it.
It's a great name.
Because it'd be kind of weird to switch him back like they did with Butch.
No, I love Gunther. I think Gunther's dope.
Yeah, Gunther's cool. It ain't getting it out. Love it.
It's great.
Obvious choice here. Like you were saying, they're going to earn it. Heavy hitting. I think to this point, Damian Priest has improved week over week.
He has.
With his presence, with his assertiveness no, I'm leading the Judgment Day. It's not a guessing game. I'm the man. Correct. I have the title.
Correct.
Going out there doing his thing. Mad they're interfering. No, y'all are making me look weak. Stop it. For the inevitable breakup, when he needed to look strong as possible, this was a good way to build him. I still don't buy him as a constant multiple-time world champion right now, but I think he's walking the right path, and this was the right testing of the waters for him. And I think he passed.
It worked.
And I think main event spots are there for him in the future, but the time is right, especially with Bash in Berlin around the corner. Ooh. So you can have maybe an Ilya Dragunov spot, maybe Sammy come back after him again, whatever. But I think it's going to be, at the end of the night, that belt around him with his arms behind his back, Ludwig Kaiser putting that belt around him. And I think it's going to be the most deserved, more than LA Knight, the most deserved title change of the weekend.
I agree. Polos and James with a little food for thought here. I'm thinking Priest retains and Gunther wins the rematch at Bash at Berlin. That's something to think about.
I've heard this booking. I don't think there would be what's the cause for a rematch? The only cause for rematch would be a BS DQ finish, to where it's like, you cheated me, I deserve another shot. Like if Damian Priest just beats him, how does he deserve another rematch? You know what I mean? Well, so that's my only argument against that.
Well, I think the ingredients have to be interference. The ingredients have to be interference. Like there's no other, because you can't beat Gunther clean. It's not happening. So if Gunther loses, if he loses by interference or there's a DQ, I could see a scenario where you have two things happen at Bash at Berlin. You have the inevitable breakup of Judgment Day as Finn costs Priest the title. And
I'm thinking that could happen this weekend too. That's a possibility.
But I don't, and here's why I don't think it's going to happen at SummerSlam. Because you have to build this Judgment Day kaboom. I think it'll be all of a sudden boom if you do it out of nowhere, because Priest and Dame and Finn have been on the same page.
The last 2 weeks, it's been a lot of, you know what? You're right, big man. And we're going to it's very you know what?
Yeah.
Dick. You know, but kind of been the inflection in how he's been speaking back to Damian when they fuss him, because they've been fussing Finn like a kid.
Right. But it's been toned down since after Mania. Because you remember at Mania, Priest.
Oh, got fixed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we haven't seen that type of energy, but I think that Polos and Jays might be on to something, so I wouldn't be surprised. But Gunther's a star, and I don't think you play with the stars. And I think SummerSlam is huge.
That's the one where they're ready to anoint him and build into your champions coming home kind of thing. My gut, I see where you're coming from here, Marcus, and I'm not saying that I don't think that there's a real possibility that happens.
It's interesting.
But I think based on the way they want to market, because they always put whoever's from there on the cards, and I don't think they're looking to market it as he's getting another chance to try to win it. I think they're looking to market as your world champions coming home. It's going to be really think that this is just a gut thing and an opinion, obviously. I could be way off and Marcus could be 100% right. I'm split and agree that totally could be the case, but I'm leaning more towards what I was saying. Obviously, that's why I'm saying it.
Sure. But the probability is, like you said, it's there.
It's a toss-up. Both work.
There. So, yeah, and they both could be exciting, to be honest.
No matter what, he's walking out of Berlin with the title, whether he walks in with it or walks in as the challenger.
Great point. All right, so very much so looking forward to that match. That's one of my favorite matches. Well, one of my highlighted matches going into SummerSlam is Gunther versus Priest. All right, let's move along to another crowning moment of the night. We have the Intercontinental Championship on the line as the very valiant, legendary, great Sami Zayn. I really love and respect Sami. He's been a fighting champion and been great for this company. He will be defending his Intercontinental Championship against this madman, this beast of an animal. Braun Breaker gets his second crack at the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam. Ross, let's kick it off with you. Breaker, Sami Zayn, Intercontinental Championship. What are we going to get?
So it was great. I watched Braun Breaker a little while ago, waiting for this to go live on Chris Van Fleet. Watched that interview, talking Steiner math and all that stuff. Yeah. And then yesterday on Pat McAfee show. So they're really throwing him out there for some PR right now. So what's that tell you?
Champion.
Sami ain't out there taking these interviews in all these different places.
I ain't even seen Sami.
Sami's nowhere.
Yeah.
Sami's losing his title.
Yes, he is.
That's why I say there's a chance Sami's coming after
Gunther.
Look, I beat you. I'm the one that took the title off you. I want a chance. It could be, maybe. We'll see. But the only thing, I agree, Sami's fantastic. I love Sami. I love his style, his passion, the doesn't give up attitude, the resilience of a Shawn Michaels. That's what it reminds me of. He's got his character portrays that level of resilience.
Right.
The only flaw in Sami is when he starts getting passionate on the mic. I hate that. It's like I want to turn the TV off when he does that. It drives me insane. Like the deep breath every syllable. I hate that so much. But anyways, I think it's going to be a hell of a match. It's going to be, you got to kill Sami to beat him.
Of course.
And that's what's going to happen. Braun's going to damn near kill him to beat him, and he's going to beat him because that's what it's going to be. He's got to put him down.
Yeah.
So Sammy goes out on his shield kind of thing, the valiant effort. Like you really had to damn near kill Sammy to take this title. That's how I think this match is going to play out, where there's going to be dominating moments for Braun where it's like it's not even fair that he's in the ring with Sammy. And then there's going to be those comebacks where Sammy outsmarts him and uses his speed against him with leverage spots and things like that. Like this is where Sammy's experience comes into play. Like I really think that's the story and psychology of the flow of this match, but the inevitable becoming Braun Breaker is just too much for Sammy to overcome.
Yeah, mine is short and sweet. I think Sammy's done a great job holding and representing the Intercontinental Championship very well. The prestige of that title is historic. We all know that. And it's usually a title that's really held by the next up-and-coming wave. And the next wave is Braun Breaker. He's going to snatch this title from Sammy. He's going to beat Sammy up. You're going to have to kill him, like Ross said, and that's what we're going to see. We're going to see him absolutely break Sammy till Sammy can't stand on his feet, and he will be your new Intercontinental Champion. I think
Sammy's taken out of the first spear.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, like it's the Rocky Balboa thing always with Sammy when it's up for him, to lose. Or
it's really his merch is the Rocky stuff.
Yeah,
whatever his wife's name is, I did it.
The whole theme, the hoodie, all that's all Rocky. And it's been a cool run because I'm going to say the entrance at Mania is one of my favorites. Like the way they set that up for him coming out, that was dope. That was just really, really dope with the Rocky Balboa in Philadelphia. Yeah. Whoever came with that, salute to you. Yeah, like it was great. So, but Breaker is set up to make a historic run. I think Breaker is going to set up to go into the Rumble and be one of your final four left. As a potential Intercontinental Champion and get a main event spot at Mania. I think he's going to go on that kind of run. He's going to run through the rest of this year and they're going to really assert himself. The kid's a freak. He's a freak. The speed, the power, they were
talking about it on I don't know if it was a Chris Van Fleet interview or Pat, but he got clocked running the ropes at 24 miles an hour, fastest ever.
He's a freak, man.
Because he hits them ropes hard, man. Like, I don't care how good your timing is, that spear's got to hurt. When he does the back and forth, runs it real hard to finish, that hard spear finisher.
Yeah.
Goldberg's spearing never looked like that.
No,
Goldberg had the best spear in the business before this man came along.
I think Goldberg had like you said, it was a beautiful spear.
It was believable. It was a real spear. He was really spearing these dudes. He hurt himself a bunch of times doing it to this day.
Shoulder stays out of
Breaker. It ain't no Bobby Lashley spear where Bobby's cutting a somersault.
Or Edge spear.
Or
Edge spear.
Jey Uso's spear. Like all those spears are very not real looking.
They're terrible, spears. Actually.
They're the big time work to move. Braun Breaker's spear is the real deal.
And we're going to see it multiple times.
Roman spears, it's good, but it ain't
cool.
that.
It's cool.
Ain't that.
It's cool.
It's better than most, but it ain't that.
Yeah, it's cool. So Breaker wins. You're a new Intercontinental Champion, and we're going to set up for a massive, very entertaining run from Braun Breaker. I really don't see anybody beating this guy until you could potentially find something for Mania to make it tricky for him. Honestly,
who's going to get it Mania?
I can't think of anybody.
They're going to put him as like the modern day Goldberg, but actually a wrestler, actual talent. I love Goldberg too, but he was not that. He had no talent.
I literally can't think of anybody.
That kind of dominance. Like, who you going to put against him? Because you want to keep this guy as strong as you can for as long as you can.
The only person that I can think of, and he's currently in NXT, and if he comes up to the roster,
Obafemi?
Him or Trick Williams?
Ooh, Trick.
So if Trick gets to the main roster, which I would project that he probably will around Mania time.
Well, he's going to be in the Rumble again for sure.
Yeah. So you could have a crossover there because the draft isn't until after Mania. So it's just something to keep an eye on. But I think you're going to get a young, up-and-coming force just like what Braun is. Because I can't see a veteran placement there.
Because I think his first feud is going to be him and Carmelo Hayes revamping their NXT feud. Because that's an opportunity to kind of move Carmelo Hayes along because he's been very stagnant. And that's the person that he's had the most chemistry with, and his best matches in his career have been with Bron Breakker. So that makes sense as the next feud for Bron with this belt.
Well,
and I think it's going to be a lengthy 2 month or so on and off kind of thing.
Well, Melo's on SmackDown, so that's going to be interesting to do.
That's a good point.
And Bron's on Raw, so
yeah, that kind of shoots down what I'm saying, because that would make sense for Carmelo to have an opportunity to kind of lift him up a bit, even though he's getting smashed. Because it's like I'm the guy that knows how to beat him.
Yeah.
It's
gonna be interesting.
They'd have to have a trade for that. So never mind, that ain't gonna work. I didn't even think about that. I'm so used to the brand split thing not even mattering. It actually matters now for a change.
Shout out Jordan Kirby says, "Do we get Zilla or Haiku?" I can't even pronounce it.
Hikuleo.
I don't think you get anybody tonight. I think the Cody and Solo, and we're going to touch on that in just a second. The Cody and Solo 1-on-1 is going to be that. I think they hold over the chaos for SummerSlam, but I think we're going to get a very nice promo tonight between Rhodes and Solo. And you know what? Solo's going to shine tonight. Mark my words. His promo tonight is going to be amazing. Watch what I tell you. Breakker is going to be crowned for sure. Absolutely. Sammy needs a moment one day. Yeah, I think he'll get it one day. I think Sammy will get a world championship around his waist one day. I think he deserves it. I don't want to do the Kofi Kingston run. And don't get me wrong, I love the Kofi run. I thought it was great. But I do think along the Daniel Bryan run, maybe for world title one day for Sammy, maybe.
I get angered when Kofi's run comes up because I can't believe they did him like that.
Yeah,
but I get it that you don't have to make him look like a jabroni to block Brock Lesnar like that.
It was sad. It was sad.
Like,
I was
way to kill that man. Like the audience made it happen, and they actually let the man win the title. And then you do that to him when he drops it.
It sucked.
That made me sick.
I was legit pissed.
That's the kind of stuff why people hate Vince McMahon.
I was legit pissed when that happened.
Yeah, because that's legit. That's a slap in the face to the fans and the Kofi Kingston.
It sucked. I'd say, what's up with you, man? Thank you for rocking with us tonight. Breakker wins and Sammy shifts to getting back involved with the bloodline potentially? ? We'll see.
That's what I'm hearing.
Building towards War Games in Canada. Is War Games in Canada? Yes, it is. It's in Ontario. They made the announcement. Triple H made the announcement yesterday. Sammy unites with Bloodline. A lot of people throwing that out there.
That's been in the wrestling media for a while now.
What's up, FWO? What's up, Aaron, man? Glad you're rocking with us tonight, man. Appreciate you. Jungle Hunter says Lee Fitting has been doing his thing on all of the new entrances and camera angles for sure.
I love the walkout entrance stuff where the camera follows them from the back through Gorilla. I love that stuff. Through the crowd, and I like when they do that. And they don't do it too much.
It's great.
Just here and there.
It's very cinematic. Can you imagine when they get the Netflix? Good Lord. It's going to be amazing. Can't wait. Can't wait.
All right. My whole life for that kind of promos.
Oh, it's coming. I can't wait. All right. So maybe the most anticipated match of the night, maybe quite possibly. We've got the biggest grudge match in all of wrestling history, probably. This is something that a lot of people are waiting for, including myself, for the first time in 10 years. CM Punk will have a one-on-one match in a WWE ring, and he is going against legitly the hottest, and I mean hottest, character in all of wrestling.
I would use the word best.
Okay. Drew
I think he's
McIntyre,
the best character in wrestling.
With special guest referee Seth freaking Rollins. We're also going to kick it off here because I know that you are loving Drew McIntyre, so I want to open up the gates for you there. Number one, I'm going to say this. I hate the fact that Seth Rollins is involved with this match.
Me too.
I hate it. It makes me mad. I get pissed at the fact that he's involved with this because it is taking away of what this really could be. And I get what they're trying to do here. They're going to set us some stinking, raggedy triple threat match with these three at some point in time. I don't want it. I don't want it.
That's what it is.
I hope I'm wrong. But
no, I think it's there as a security blanket in case Punk has issues. They can have some kind of screwy finish.
I hate it.
Punk has proven that he is fragile. And I really think that's some training wheels for Punk. I really think that's why Seth Rollins is a special referee.
I hate it. If Punk falls on his sword, he falls on his sword.
I'm with you.
This is a legend. This man is a all-timer, top 10, top 15, top 25, wherever you put him. CM Punk is in the conversation. Now, The rant is over for Seth Rollins. This match between Punk and Drew has literally been building since the Royal Rumble. And all of the promos from McIntyre and all of the promos from Punk, the screw jobs left and right, this is setting up to be an absolute show.
It's going to be a barn burner.
An absolute show. I think Drew wins the match. I think he beats Punk. I don't think Punk's in a position right now to gain momentum. Why? Because he still has business with Rollins. And I think you have to build on the stronger character. The stronger character is Drew. He's been given the green light. I know he's been screwed over by Punk, but it's a job. It's a work to get to this moment. I think Drew wins it. I think he connivingly wins it. I think he leaves Punk and Rollins laying, and he wins it. I don't even think Rollins counts to 3 to get the win. I think another referee has to come out there because you're going to have total disaster at some point in this match. But here's the thing. It's going to be Punk inadvertently getting Rollins involved, and Drew takes advantage of it, and he gets the win. Drew McIntyre wins this match. The feud is not over. There's a pay-per-view in Atlanta, Georgia called Bad Blood. I'm trying to go to that. Stay tuned. Just remember I said that. McIntyre wins at SummerSlam. You're going to get an absolute show with this match. What do you got, Ross?
Jungle Hunter his opinion is solely based off of the wrestling media's opinion. Everything he's saying is the stuff I hear in the wrestling media.
Okay.
Call back to Brett. I'm surprised you didn't say watch when Punk comes out in black and pink, because I've heard that this week too. Okay. So I have a differing opinion here.
Okay, let's get it.
I think CM Punk is going to win this match. And here's why.
Okay.
Because the thing that has made Drew's character so good is the poor me aspect of it. And what's a bigger I got screwed poor me than a Seth Rollins involvement in the finish and CM Punk picking up the win as more heat for Drew to be furious about and go after management. How could you let this happen? This should have just been me and him. And why'd you get involved? And I just feel in my core
the core
that CM Punk kind of needs this for momentum, because it's really his first match.
Yeah, it is his first
Rumble's
match.
not even really a match.
Yeah.
It's just wild shit going on with a bunch of people in the ring. This is his first WWE match since he signed a contract. I think they're going to put the win on CM Punk, and it's going to be something that really puts even more fire under Drew, because this has been working with Drew's character. And this is the ultimate you screwed me moment. Punk continues to screw me to keep furthering this. And I think you still continue to get Drew and CM Punk. It's not over, because like Marcus mentioned, the end game here is Punk and Seth at Mania, like we were supposed to get this year, but because the man's so fragile. Happy accident that Drew injured him, because look at what came of it.
I got you.
Feud. We got this feud from it. So I really feel, this is one of those truly too close to call it 50-50 matches. I really believe it could go either way, and the stories that can come of it are going to be great no matter who walks out the winner here. But I feel like they need to put a win under him here, and it still can help Drew's character at the same time. I think it's a win-win with a Punk win, personally.
But what are you going to do with Drew? I understand to continue on, but how long is this guy going to have to run with the character of being pissed from being screwed over? He's literally been screwed over since Mania.
That's what I'm saying, about a year.
Months.
Mm-hmm.
So how?
And it's been fun. It's been the greatest. I love Drew McIntyre. I'm not picking him to win. He's my favorite gimmick. He's my favorite character in wrestling. I go back to, I'll argue with anybody who wants to step up. Nobody has used social media and done better character work than Drew McIntyre this year. I'm sorry. PWI's Wrestler of the Year. It's rigged if he doesn't get it. And he could lose every match this year, and I still think he needs it. Because when it comes to the storytelling they're doing with him, the wins don't matter. He is the most interesting character in wrestling.
I get it, but I'm trying to figure out an end all for Drew. And
I don't think they have one right now.
That's what I'm about to say.
They're just kind of going with the flow to see where they can take this.
Well, this is incredible storytelling at its best. So the conversation, it's. Let me think.
This is what the Bloodline story was last year. This is this year's main story. This is the main.
I think it's definitely top tier. But like in the last decade, it's definitely like a top 5 storyline.
Oh God, yes,
easily.
It's not better than the overall of the Bloodline story, but this year, this is the main feature.
Yeah, it's really, really good, and I can't wait. It's the most anticipated match for me, and probably a lot of people.
I think everyone.
Yeah, Punk's first match back. You got a red hot Drew, but I still hate the fact that Rollins, and look at this, even look at Rollins in the middle.
Yeah, it makes
me sick.
Look how stupid his shirt and his pants. God, he had to set freaking Rollins the ref outfit.
It makes me sick. Why is that there? But whatever. I'm going to be a good sport because I love Seth. He's great.
I like all parties involved, but I don't like the setup.
Maybe he should have just not been on the card. But I get it. You got one of the biggest stars in your business. You got to place him somewhere, I guess.
He's Mr. WWE.
I know he's the new Bret Hart before the screw job in Montreal. That's what he is.
I look at it as he's kind of their John Cena. He's their flag bearer. He's their go-to guy. He's the plug and play no matter what. He's Mr. Reliable. He'll go through injury. He can work with anyone.
He'll come back too early. He'll come back too early.
Back too early for no good reason to get involved in the main storyline.
Yeah. So we're going to see. It's going to be something.
So we're very split on this, and I think either outcome is a great outcome.
I think it's great.
I think either outcome breeds further great storytelling.
I'm ready for the theater. I'll tell you that. All right, let's move along to the women's world heavyweight. The women's world championship. You have another anticipated match, and I cannot wait to hear what Ross has to say about this. You have the world champion, Liv Morgan, defending against one of the hottest, if not the hottest, in the world of professional wrestling, Mommy Rhea Ripley. I love her to death, and I'm so glad that she is back. But this is going to potentially be the greatest women's match in the history of all women's wrestling. Ross, let's kick it off with you. As you can see on my main man's bottom line here, Dirty Dom is a top heel. What you got, my man? I can't wait to hear your thoughts.
I was hoping you'd start with me because I'm dying to start.
Yes, of course I will.
Okay. Everybody's expecting Dom to turn on Rhea. And I think we're actually going to get the expectation here. Yeah. And I think it's going to be glorious. You think that man couldn't talk on the mic before? And it's going to be like, like I'm sure they had to have a conversation, the three of them, with his wife on how far can we go, what's acceptable with the romance side of what me and Liv are going to do. Because that was never really much of a thing with him and Rhea. And they kind of involving that in the storytelling of why I love you more, Daddy Dom, and all of that stuff. So, and Liv's all about being more graphic. She's the one in this story that's not married. She's the one of the three of them that's single. Right. So I really think it's going to be that. And he's going to try to talk. You never loved me. You never did. It's going to be one of these deals. And it's going to make him the most hated person in wrestling, her the hottest heel woman, and Rhea the biggest female baby face in WWE since the man Becky Lynch became a thing. That is what I think is going to happen. This is the man type of baby face.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. That WrestleMania run.
Oh, yeah.
That's what Rhea Ripley's looking at here.
Yeah. So
this is going to be beautiful ring psychology with romance, love triangle, storytelling, betrayal, deceit, tears, everything. This is high soap opera drama, this match. Yes, it looks like he's going to help her, but he's going to turn on her and cost her the redeeming her title. That's what I think. I'm confident most people are going to agree with most of what I said, but the outcome, I think, is what everybody's expecting.
I think the actual visual of Dom breaking Rhea's heart.
I hope she can actually make herself cry.
But I want to see an angry cry from Rhea.
Yes. The
An
rage
angry,
with tears.
yeah.
Yes.
Like the saying says, there's nothing in this world like a woman scorned. And if she can,
Rhea Bloody Ripley.
and she's going to be able to come off that. So I echo everything you said. I think the job is already in. I think that Liv and Dom walk out together. I think you get a kiss.
Kissing.
Yeah, I think you get a kiss.
There's been a discussion with his
yeah,
wife on,
of course,
can we kiss and everything? You know, it's kayfabe. We're
right.
not no tongue.
The kissing, the hugging, the groping, you're gonna get it all because Liv is game. Liv is game, and
he's probably the one. How far can I go?
Absolutely, they're probably in talks right now.
They're probably sitting together having a conversation
right now.
Now, like, what would you not be mad at us for? What
can we do? So, Liv wins. Rhea gets screwed. And everything Ross said, I second. I don't really have much to add, but just for me, the visual aspect of it is what I'm anticipating. I'm talking about the boos are so loud that it echoes through the stadium air.
They're throwing stuff at him. Everything.
I think.
Listen, I was NWO Hollywood Hogan heel turn.
I was just about to say that. I think that they're going to have to come out there and say, "Yo, let's go, let's get out of here." And they go away, and it's going to set up. You hear my words. This is going to set up the most anticipated Monday Night Raw in the last decade. Because when Monday Night Raw comes on Monday, Rhea Ripley music is hitting first.
Yep.
First. So
unannounced, charging to the ring, none of her kicking the leg. Oh, yeah.
Don't care. And the storyline is just beginning between those two, obviously, because now all the dirty secrets are coming out, what Dom has been doing. The videos, the messages. There's going to be the breakdown of Judgment Day also happening at the same time. Carlito's going to start shedding the secrets because I know he's going to be a major part of turning everybody against each other. Watch out for Carlito. And then you're going to get the Finn Balor aspect to this whole thing because Finn knows what Dom's been doing.
Finn, I think, is the mastermind.
He knows what he's been doing because he's been coaching them all along.
Finn has been the mastermind of this, is what I think the storytelling is going to give us.
Right.
Because that's going to be the ultimate. How dare you think you're the leader of me?
Yeah. This is going to be amazing.
It's not know who I am. You know? Yeah.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing.
So much is going to come from this one match.
It's so many Easter eggs.
Judgment Day breakup, Liv storyline, Liv and Dom, Rhea and Dom, Rhea and Liv, Damian and Finn, Liv and Dom against the it's going to be a lot of this.
Yeah.
A lot's coming from this.
And this is what Triple H has been doing. The stories. The continued Easter eggs that pop up at these pay-per-views. That's what, these PLEs. That's what we're going to get. Couple thoughts here. Siaj Saint says maybe Hell in a Cell match Bad Blood. Quite possibly. Jungle Hunter, Liv retains. Story is king, and she's been carrying the whole thing. Yes, Liv is doing her best character work, and we have to keep it going. Absolutely. She's been
wrecking tramp. Who knew that was going to be the best character for her?
She's been sensational. The Bishop getting a good laugh.
So good at it. She really comes. She can play. She must. And
she's doing it.
When you watch her in interviews and how she acts on other channels and stuff, she doesn't strike me as a floozy, but boy, she can sure play a floozy.
Yeah, she probably got a gig in Hollywood waiting on her someday. I wasn't a Liv fan until this storyline. She's been really good. I think she retains. Dom is going to accident. I don't know about accidentally.
I don't think so either.
I don't know. It's going to be a good spot to watch because he's accidentally cost Liv. Well, he's accidentally gotten Liv the title. If you remember how she won the title
and helped her retain.
Accidentally against Becky Lynch. So remember that as well. Hunter says the inevitable babyface run of Rhea and Damian. It's you saw it today.
That tag match is coming down the line too. Terror Twins versus Liv and Dom.
Yeah. Well, if you saw the pre-show, the pre-show today, I watched a little bit of it before I came on here. Not Dom, but Rhea, and it was weird. Rhea and Damian were together.
They're always together though. They're tight. They're tight for real.
But it was weird. It was weird that they came out together.
Twins. They got vests made and stuff.
Yeah.
Say Terror Twins.
So you're gonna get that, but it's gonna be dope.
That's inevitable.
It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope. All right, and last but not least,
think about this. He was the only one speaking to her while she was gone in storyline.
Yeah, no one else talked to her.
Knew she was coming. He didn't warn them because he's like, "You gonna get your medicine."
Right, and he got it. All right, let's get to it, man. The main event, man. God, I am so all over the place with this. This for me is a lot here. You have the WWE champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, going up against the new tribal chief, Solo Sikoa. And listen, y'all, Solo, I know Ross does this on his fragrance live streams, but soft hand clap for Solo Sikoa. Who in God's name thought that this was waiting for us after WrestleMania? A guy who didn't talk. We didn't even know he could speak English. He didn't wear shoes. He didn't do nothing but raise that damn thumb up and spike people to death. And I must say, is he one of the top heels in all of wrestling right now in less than a 3-month span? The answer is yes. Solo Sikoa. Well done, my man. Ross, I'm going to kick this one off because I'm about to split my head in half here. Because I want to say a lot of things here, but I'm going to keep it short. This match is going to be reminiscent, in my opinion, of when Psycho Sid beat Shawn Michaels for the WWE Championship in Madison Square Garden to set up a run for Shawn to go back on the road to glory to win his title back at the Royal Rumble in his hometown.
In Texas.
There's a pay-per-view in October called Bad Blood in Atlanta, Georgia. And you know who's from Atlanta, Georgia?
Marietta, but close enough. He lives in
Atlanta
currently.
Close enough. Yes, lives in Atlanta currently. Cody Rhodes. I'm saying all of this to say, how can you benefit Cody Rhodes even more? Where you have to throw untimely adversity his way. It's not going to be something that a lot of y'all may agree with or a lot of people think that may going to happen, but I firmly believe that Solo Sikoa is going to be your new WWE champion. I think he beats Cody in a nasty interference with the return of Kevin Owens and Randy Orton happening that night. I think this gets out of control because there's another storyline that you have to build. And that other storyline is the tribal chief and Paul Heyman seemingly lurking to make their returns. But here's the kicker for me. I don't think Roman returns at SummerSlam. I think that's
the one thing we're agreeing on so far.
They want the build of the potential Roman return, which has been great. If you notice how WWE does it, you got a little Roman poster here. You got a little commercial with Roman there. I've been seeing it. But Roman's not returning at SummerSlam. You want to know who
on
is?
Instagram, when I shared this, I used Roman's theme music. Even though I knew both of us don't think he's showing up.
Well, here's who I think's going to show up after Solo wins the title. I think The Rock returns. I think The Rock anoints the new tribal chief because he's the champion. And the whole storyline of this bloodline thing is belt and beads. And I think Solo has the beads. I think he's going to get the belt. And I think the absolute destruction of the character and the pride and the energy of Roman Reigns begins on next Friday night on SmackDown. I think The Rock anoints him. I think he gets a piece of flesh from Cody as well because they have some business that will be finished at some point before we get to Mania. And you set the table from now leading up to Survivor Series of building the return of Roman Reigns and his version of the new bloodline versus what's been created with Solo. I know that may sound wild. I know Cody is the token figure, the golden boy, the Bret Hart, the John Cena of WWE right now, but I think he loses. I think he loses his title. And I think he is on a pace where Cody may actually take a little bit of time off and come back and get ready for Bad Blood, where he regains his title. But there will be the return of Roman Reigns there in Atlanta, Georgia, in my opinion. I think Roman returns at Bad Blood. The storyline is official. Reigns, Solo, Bloodline, War Games next month. in Canada for Survivor Series. That's what I'm thinking, man.
You did not have me until you said The Rock returns to anoint him. That tied it together.
Okay.
I was disagreeing with everything except Roman not showing up because I'm like, I just don't see him beating Cody like that. Okay. But The Rock's involvement makes sense.
Okay.
Because what I was thinking initially was an interference of Jimmy Uso. I'm thinking a returning Jimmy Uso starts the inevitable Roman Reigns thing. We got to start with the pawn before we get to the king.
Correct.
And I think that's the inevitable. I do think we're going to see Jimmy Uso no matter, even in your situation. I think we see Jimmy Uso tomorrow night. I really do. It's been months since they took him out.
Correct.
But the thing is, at the same time, I don't see Jimmy Uso showing up unless it's to cost Solo. I don't see Jimmy Uso showing up and Solo ending up winning the title. So I don't know. I'm very torn. What I was originally, you swayed me a little bit because what I was initially thinking was that him to cost Solo, but still potentially The Rock showing up to confront Cody.
It's 100,000 people.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking The Rock shows up to confront Cody to set up their thing because he's eager to get back. Is all over the media right now. He's eager to get back. He's done filming. He's ready. That makes sense. Roman coming back right now, bad booking. Don't do that. No. Not the time. Not the time. It can be so much more impactful. Build the story the right way. It'll be everybody's be clamoring for it anyway. I think we get Jimmy. I think we get The Rock. I think Cody retains. I think the big thing coming out of this is The Rock and Cody. But you swayed me when you had The Rock come back to anoint Solo. So I'm very torn now. You literally threw a wrench in my booking when you said The Rock returns to anoint him.
I got a couple of
it looks that storyline, that particular booking finish makes it look like it's all The Rock's plan, the mastermind. I told you, Cody. I told you. And that's the pawn that's doing The Rock's bidding. He's the tribal chief, right? But The Rock's really the tribal chief. I'm the final boss. You know, I like where you went with that. It swayed me. I kind of hope to see what you're saying now.
I have a couple.
We haven't had the whole redeeming to win the title back within a month or two. We haven't had that kind of booking in a long time.
We have.
That used to be what WWE was in the 2000s and 2010s.
And it's great.
Like hot potato with the belt back then.
It's great booking for your top baby face to go through untimely adversity. That's what they do. And you haven't had it. And I think an untimely loss for Cody will send shockwaves through the wrestling world because he's slated to hold on to that title as far as Mania next year. So he'll get it back. I think he'll be champion, of course, going into Mania. But I have a couple of nuggets because if you're going to build this bloodline versus bloodline and who's the real tribal chief storyline, I'm with you. I'm kind of on the edge of Jimmy returning, but here's why I think that you probably will see him, because you gave me something to think about. Does he interfere or does he make his presence known? Because Jimmy is going to be the one to rally the troops. Because
that's exactly what it is. That's my whole point of my booking. Because with Jimmy, this is where it could still work for Jimmy showing up and Solo still winning, because that's when you get Hikuleo show up to counter. Like Jimmy's thinking he's about to do some damage, and then Hikuleo shows up, takes him out, causes a different distraction.
I think
now that bloodline's at full strength.
I think Jimmy goes on a run to head over to see his brother on Monday Night Raw. You're going to start seeing Jimmy pop up on Raw. Jay's going to be like, nah. You're going to start seeing the roles starting to kind of turn to family. Because what is all this about the bloodline at the end of the day?
Yep, family.
It's about family, and it's all going to tie in. And I think Roman and Jimmy have been already talking. Mm-hmm. Paul has it going. And Roman knows we got to go get Jay. We got to figure it out. We are coming back doing for family. So
and when they're still missing a piece, this is going to be the best part, the stuff that was talked about earlier with Sammy. This is going to be the best part, the final piece for the War Games match, is he doesn't want to do it. Jay's constantly trying to sway him. No, man, too much happened.
Right.
And Roman makes amends.
Roman makes amends.
Roman is the one that convinces Sammy to help them.
Because he has to.
It has to be Roman because Sammy's not going to do it just because Jay and Jimmy want him to. Because it's got to start with Jay because that's his friend. That's his boy.
Yes. So
he recently helped Jay.
He did.
Little pieces for
I've
this. Little nuggets here and there.
Have been showing up. Mm-hmm. And I think the continuous storylines for multiple stories are on the table for this
going
match.
On in this pay-per-view, this PLE, excuse me.
Everything.
There's so much going on. This is such a good event. No matter if we're completely wrong with the finish of every single one, the storylines that are going to come out of this are going to be great no matter what.
I think that a blindside situation for the fans is coming at some point. I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know, but something that we least expect is going to happen because it has to. This is the Triple H era. So I think as wrestling fans, we expect, Cody's the babyface. He's the guy. Triple H called him to the ring after winning the title and said he's leading the charge of the new era. Yeah, but he can lose too. Mm-hmm. So if you want Cody to be a fighting champion, see some adversity. Cody's been talking. I listen to Cody very closely. His last two sit downs, the promo that he cut in the empty bar, he was basically telling us, I'm going to lose. I'm going to go out. I'm going to do everything. He basically told us that the odds are so stacked against me. I'm willing to die for this. Are you? Yes, Solo's willing to die. Have you seen him? So I think all the elements are just there for the curve because you got to build Cody back up, which you will. Then you have to do the most important thing. We got to get to Rock and Roman at Mania next year.
Yeah.
How else do you get there besides shaking it all up? And the way to do that is you got to have Solo in position to really, really get people talking.
And to keep Cody's momentum, the babyface chase.
Right.
Old booking. There's nothing more exciting in wrestling than the babyface chase.
Correct. So now you have the
sympathy card. Got the belt. He's the man.
Right. So now the sympathy card is back for Cody.
Exactly. It makes sense.
We know he's already finished his story, but now it's like, damn, Cody went out like that. The Bloodline are some dogs. Did you see Fatu? Did you see, like, my God, Cody went out like that. Now Cody's got to look inferior. He has to
stop them.
Exactly.
Who's going to stop them?
So when you get the bad blood, another thing's going to happen. Cody gets the belt back at Bad Blood, and Randy Orton is waiting.
Fine, I'll buy the wheel protection and the extended warranty. Let's sign the papers. He just sold a car, by the way. Sold me on this storyline.
So we'll see.
Any of y'all?
We'll see. I'm going to go to the comments. I think a lot of people just don't believe that he's going to lose. So I think
your booking makes all of the sense.
Jungle, I hope they don't have Roman help Cody win. They won't.
No, I don't think that.
Roman needs to come out after the match is over. I don't see that either, unless it's in a very.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
No.
A moment of acknowledgement for Jacob Fatu. The Samoan werewolf. That dude is that.
I still need to get one of his shirts. His shirt's badass.
Yeah, it's pretty dope, and he's amazing. Jungle says, "I have to hope it isn't so. Roman must return. He's needed. He's not needed right now. He will be eventually, and I want to hear the biggest pop of the year. Well, yeah, whenever he returns, it's going to be the biggest pop.
He will, but it ain't time. I don't think it's time. I think it's a waste right now.
Right. Cody's run has been lukewarm. He's a better chasing the title. Well, obviously, I think, but I don't see Solo winning. He's been great, though. Okay. And good call on Jimmy returning Ross. So a lot is at
time for Jimmy to come back. He's the first piece to the puzzle to start.
He has to be.
He's the initial move to move us towards War Games.
He has to because he was the first casualty.
He's the first casualty, so he's got to be the first babyface bloodline member to come back.
So we have what? We're in August. So you have August, September, October. You have 3 months to get to War Games. After you come out of War Games, what do you get ready for? You're getting ready for Rumble. You're getting ready for Mania because there isn't a pay-per-view in December for WWE this year.
No.
There is not a pay-per-view.
Elimination Chamber in February.
Correct. So there's no pay-per-view in December. They're going to have 2 PLEs in November. They're going over to Saudi Arabia, and then you have Survivor Series. But then they're done with PLEs for the rest of the year. So what's the next big boom? Rumble. Now we in Mania season. So the turnaround is going to be really, really quickly because there's a lot that's going to make this WrestleMania the greatest spectacle that we've ever seen.
Yeah, it's definitely going to top this year's.
Like ever. Like we've ever seen.
No doubt it's going to be better than 41 is going to be better than 40. I fully anticipate that.
So either way, excited and ready to watch. Can't wait to see all of these incredible matches. 7 matches on the card, 6 title matches, 1 massive grudge match, a 3-hour pre-show. If you're a wrestling fan, you are ready to go. I can't wait to experience SummerSlam and everything that it has to offer on tomorrow night on Peacock. It's going to be simply fantastic. So we gave a lot of opinions tonight. We gave a lot of theories and things, and this is what we do. And this is what makes it fun. Because as wrestling fans, you want to try to project and you want to try to predict. And I think whatever we get, no matter if all of us are dead ass wrong, I think it's going to be a big time event for the company, and they just continue on their run. I'm really looking forward to just the visuals of whatever happens, because you're going to have a lot of moments that
there's nothing to fast forward through. Like for the longest time with PLEs, there's mid-card stuff that I would skip. You know, I want to see the opening match. I'd want to see like Rhea's match or Becky's match or something. And then the main event.
Not tomorrow night.
Not these cards. These cards have been must-watch the whole way through.
Every single match.
Every one this year. I've watched every match.
It's going to be incredible.
I never do that.
It's going to be incredible.
Never do that.
There's always like some filler there, right?
There's always a filler match on the card, at least.
Not tomorrow night. So
I'd like to touch on something before we go. Jump on his Triple H comment, second to last comment.
Okay, got it.
So in the media today or yesterday was about Triple H's booking, and Dana Brooke replied to it in a tweet, and Elias, and it's like they're complaining. I felt like this. Okay, I get it. Every wrestler thinks they're the world champ caliber person. There's a reason y'all got released and your booking was, look, y'all weren't compelling characters to be in a main storyline. This era, this regime is all about the storytelling. WWE tells stories. AEW books matches. That's the truth. They have a little bit of storytelling, but it's not on the level of WWE.
Facts.
You want crazy 5-star, 6-star. Oh my God. 10 years ago, that was 19 finish moves in that match. You know, AEW is your company.
Sure.
But WWE wants to emotionally invest you. And I'm sorry, Dana Brooke was never an emotionally investable character with the 24/7 thing they were doing. And even in TNA now, Ash by Elegance, why is she in the title picture with Jordan Grace?
Right.
I don't dislike her. reality is not everybody's a main story character just because you're on the roster. And the same thing with Elias. Yes, the whole Walk with Elias thing was fun. And I'm sure on the indies, Elijah is great. But it's momentary stuff. It's not – his character doesn't seem to be a long-term storytelling type of character for the direction they're going.
Right.
So all I saw – because everything I've seen about anybody in the business that's complained about the booking of WWE is bitter, not on the roster anymore. Performers. I just wanted to touch on that because that's kind of bothered me the last 2 days. I've been seeing that. It's like y'all really think real highly of yourself and just don't understand reality and just do what you can do through the business. That you had your time in WWE. Now you have your run doing this or doing that. Don't get bitter about the product because you're not involved anymore.
Right.
That's what I saw, bitterness.
Right.
Wanted to touch on.
And guys, of course, I'm sure these guys wish they would,
Nothing against them. I really like Elias, but I see where he didn't fit into what they're trying to do.
No. And I'm sure it's
one of my best friends. That man ain't been on TV in a year.
Right.
I love Jordan. That's my guy. He ain't been on TV in a year. He ain't bitter.
Right.
He ain't bitter. He's doing his thing. He works his house show. He's waiting his turn. He's doing his thing. He works for WWE.
Right. What a dream that is.
It's a dream. He works for WWE. He works for the biggest sports entertainment venture you can, other than owning an NFL team.
Ever. Right. So tomorrow night, guys, SummerSlam. We're all excited. Can't wait. All of the potential storylines and finishes and what ifs. We will be sitting on the edge of our seats for sure. So I know I can't wait to get a big old nasty pizza and get me a sugary drink that I shouldn't be drinking and plop down right here in this office, turn on my 60-inch and get to watching this epic event for sure. So, Ross, any final remarks, man, before we close out?
For any of you that are in their sneakers, obviously, Marcus, I'm talking to you, and anybody else.
Yep.
On Sunday on TLTG Kicks, myself, this gentleman to the side of me, as well as Dutch, will be talking second half of the year wish lists for sneakers. We got 10 on deck. We might do 5, might do 7, might do the whole 10 on deck for what we're looking to pick up in the second half of the year. Because any of you that are into the sneaker game know that it's been crazy with releases, but we're not just talking new releases.
Yes.
There's some like bucket list stuff that it's like, man, I've been wanting to grab these for like 3 years. Now's the time. I'm grabbing them. It's going to be a great sneaker conversation. So any of you that like fragrance, wrestling, or sneakers, me and this man got you covered this week.
Got you covered.
Got you covered.
For sure. I can't wait for that. I haven't done sneaker content in a long time. I used to do that a few years back, so I'm really excited to be on this stream. So I can't wait to talk some sneakers. So yes, tune in Sunday over on TLTG Kicks if you guys got a moment, and come check us out, man. It's going to be a good time for sure. All right, y'all. So we'll be seeing you soon. I'm going to get with Ross, and I really do want to tap into that top 50 list and maybe give our own top 10 of all time. You know, most of the times we come at y'all, we come with the preview shows, but I'm sure you guys would appreciate some who are our top 10 wrestlers.
I think we should do 20 if we're going to do it, because 10 is going to be hard because there's some greatness.
That's the point. That's the point. So we'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I think a lot of you guys would enjoy that type of conversation about ranking our favorite wrestlers, because it's always fun. He could say somebody at 5 that I might fall out the chair on, or I could say somebody at 2 that
I might do the same thing.
That's what I'm saying. He could see somebody at 3 that I kill the stream on. So it could be anything, but that's the fun in all of this, because we're fans. We're fans, and we have our opinions, and we have our
lifelong, passionate, big old smart mark wrestling fans.
Big time. And that's what we're doing. We're doing tonight. You see the tattoo for sure.
I put the ink on my body.
That's
even
legit.
I'm so much of a
That's
fan.
legit. So we can't wait. So appreciate you guys, man. If you're watching on the playback, you made it all the way to the end. You a real one. Appreciate that. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the Sports That's Live. We are about 5 weeks out of football back, college football, NFL football. Myself, Black, Mr. Moodum Chains, will be covering so many different football topics. And of course, we will still be talking at wrestling with my good friend, my brother, Ross, TLTG Reviews, Carlos. All right. So
mommy's favorite reviewer.
Yes, he is. And he done something that none of us could ever do.
I've got the proof.
He has the proof. He sent mommy some smell good, and I'll forever be jealous.
I've got pictures.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great evening. We'll see you guys on the next one. Stay tuned. Subscribe to the Sports That's Live. Be cool. Be safe. Take care of yourselves. And enjoy SummerSlam on Peacock. Peace, y'all. Appreciate y'all.